This company was spending 4 hours every single time they do a podcast episode just on admin alone, writing the Discord posts, formatting the show notes, logging in everything into a spreadsheet, Google Sheet, as you can see here, manually sending update to their community through the Discord, and then just logging everything into a Google Docs as well. So that's 4 hours per episode per week, and on task, a machine could do for if you built everything here. So in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how I built it, set up the RSS setup from the podcast, the 3 make scenario. This is 1, 2, and this is 3. And whether you're a business owner drowning in repetitive tasks or builder looking for a case study, and I'll just show you how all this work can be put together. So let's get so quick context. My name is Gene. I run FounderPad, which is a lead generation and automation agency. So what I do lead generation for you, top of the funnel, whether it's email marketing, etc., lead gen, running ads, or automation such as automate the top of the funnel stuff like voice agents, speed to lead systems like email follow-ups, text follow-ups, etc. So been running that, and I figured I'd give a quick intro into myself. So this one, especially this subject, was just a direct automation for this podcast. It's not a podcast, it's a nonprofit that does a podcast. That's one of the parts that they do. And it's pretty much how people recover from caffeine. So I'm going to show you every piece of it. So here's the full system at a glance. So to explain to you the pipeline here, the moment a new episode drops from the RSS, so this is it triggers. So it drops on a weekly basis on Tuesdays. So I make sure this happens. The automation runs like right after, so like a couple hours after, and then what happens after that is Google Gemini. So you could use ChatGPT to run through that, and then from there you see these text parsers is to pretty much find the text points, and then to make sure like the Discord is one text is about the Discord, the other text is for the Google Sheet. The Google Sheet is mostly directly into Gemini, and then the other text parser is for the Google Doc. So essentially, scenario 1 here, you can see it's about as soon as a episode drop, the AI write, about the post. Okay, what it was about, just a quick description, and it posted into the Discord, logs everything. Scenario 2, I don't know why it's being slow. So the scenario 2 right here, that's called the weekly digest. So every Sunday around 9 a.m. or so. So what happens is that it's made to run. So what it does is the Google Sheet, which is the same Google Sheets we have every time an episode drop, it goes into here. So what it does, it reads whether a podcast was done or went live like the prior week, and then it sends like a community note about it, a warm community note, and then goes over what it went over to create discussion into the podcast and continue that community live. So that's what this Google Gemini, again, the response does, and then create a message, and that's just sending it into the Discord. Scenario 3 here, so this is a Google form. So it's like a story pipeline. Essentially what it does is when a listener, let's say you invite a friend or a listener listens to the podcast, so they just fill out this Google form, and then as they fill it out, it logs their submission. You leverage AI to pretty much tells the group, okay, this is somebody filled out a submission, you should follow up, and it sends that to the Discord instantly. So 3 scenarios: episode pipeline, the weekly digest, and of course the submission pipeline. So I'll show you right now exactly how each piece work, starting with the Discord server. So before you touch anything, so 3 things, you need a few things from the client. So you need the Discord. So we needed a Discord infrastructure. So the client went ahead, created the Discord, and added 3 more dedicated channels. I'll show you here when I press this. So one is a new episode channel, the weekly digest channel. So I created a channel for everything we needed, and then like the channel that only the team could see. So for the Sunday thing, when every time anything drops. And then another thing I needed to create a bot. So create a bot inside Discord. For that, I had to go discord.com/developers and create a new application, add a bot. So this had to be done as well. So the client needs to give you access to that. In the Google Sheet, you need to be able to share that with the client. The client also needs to, for Gemini, they also need Gemini API to pay for it so you can do the automation in the code by itself. So you need a few of these things from the client. Obviously, the client also need a make.com. They just have to share their make with you, so for you to go right ahead and run everything in there. So here's scenario one. So again, this is an RSS trigger. It fires after, like I said, the same day the episode drops, a few hours. It's scheduled to pretty much go, I believe, every time, every Tuesday or so. And then from there, so this is the part most people get wrong here. The next, right? This is Gemini. I asked Gemini for three things here, not just one thing. I asked it for the show notes, teaser, Discord post. Like, I ask it for everything. As you can see, the initial text is just a title, description, summary, publish, and then obviously you have to connect Gemini as well. Again, the client pretty much make an account. So the show notes right here, I make the show notes about 100 to 150 words, and then a few sentences to explain things, give it the context. The prompting again is extremely important in these cases. And then I give it some systems instruction as well. So the system instruction, it really matters because it pretty much just guides Gemini on how to write the tone it's supposed to have, like what type of community it is, what it needs to for a nonprofit here you are. Like, all this part is extremely important, especially for AI, and to not be judgmental. AI needs a lot of context. Okay, you gotta start with, okay, who are you? What are you supposed to do, and so on. So one call to Gemini, three parallel outputs. As you can, these text parsers is two texts. It's specifically for one output. So one for Discord, one for Google Sheet. Again, one for Google Docs. So the make module, flow into multiple parallel branches, as I mentioned. So here's something most people building on make.com don't know you can do. So after the Discord module post, the episode announcement, I immediately fire an HTTP request to Discord APIs to create a discussion thread. So essentially, I don't have this here, but if I so this is where the bot comes in. You need like a message ID. Discord returns it as output. So essentially, you directly within that Discord chat right here, you send a message, give it which channel. I call this channel new episode channel, and then from there it just created that, and people can just go on and communicate with, and the bot would respond. Every Sunday, this scenario wakes up on its own because it's scheduled. No one schedules it, but it just scheduled once. No one writes content. It just runs. So it pulled the week's episode from Google Sheet, as you can see here. It goes into the Google Sheet, pulls the week. The text aggregator combines everything, all the text, the URLs, and the show notes from that block. And then it goes into Gemini, and Gemini has a prompt in it. It asks it for a warm 100 to 150 word community digest written for people on caffeine recovery, as you can see here. So again, the prompt continues to rule how it goes about, because it's in these. So as you can see, the system prompt here, you are a warm, encouraging content writer for live and rare podcasts, etc. And then this is what you do. You give it what to do. So the final message from Gemini is Gemini's intro. The final message is a Gemini intro followed by the full episode list. It goes into the Discord, and it goes into the weekly digest every Sunday. Consistent, on brand, zero effort from anybody. So think about that means for a business. Every Sunday, your community gets a curated digest of the week's content. People get to review it, get to see it, and they can add more. They can chat in the community without your team spending a single minute on it. So that's a compounding value of automation. So it doesn't get tired, it doesn't forget, it just continues to run. You perhaps have to look at things once in a while. So scenario three. So scenario three, as I mentioned, is a story listener pipeline. This one is constant. So essentially what this is, as you can see, this is a simple Google form with about 5 questions. I have it up here for you. the name, the phone number, the email address, have the client confirm their email address, then from there to share their experience, and then from sharing their experience about how long they've been in their recovery journey, and then full permission for them to share. Because if somebody's coming to podcast, obviously you need permission for them to share the podcast because that's their story. Again, with no missed submissions, this goes into the Discord as well, and the team sees it every time someone wants to be part of the Discord. So no submissions, no manual work. Every story gets captured and surfaced, and the right people see it under 60 seconds. And so that's, as you can see, these are the three different scenarios. So here's what actually changed for the business. So 4 hours per episode on the content admin, as you can see here. So one episode from all these three scenarios, community engagement went up because content shows up consistently, whether someone remembers to do it or not, or whether the founder's on vacation, etc. The team now spend time doing other things, trying to grow, doing the podcast itself, posting on LinkedIn, coaching and supporting listeners. So instead of copying and pasting between platforms, but they do monitor the community, but also the bot also respond in the community. The AI sounds like them, so it's prompted to sound like them. So that was one of the most important things. So using the client wanted to use Gemini. I find that both, especially Claude, is really good with like good system prompts of being short and prompty and prompt. It's made to be warm. It understands the scenario, especially at the system prompt. Non-judgmental. It doesn't really read like a bot. In exchange for the pro bono work, so this was great. The client gave me full permission to be able to promote this. So I figured I would go right ahead and show this to anyone. So whether you're an early stage agency, whether you're a business looking to automate some tasks, I'm happy to go right ahead and do that for you. Would love to come and learn about the business and see how I can add value, especially at the top of the funnel. All right. So again, another thing. So 3 things I'll do differently with this. I think right here you have 3 text parsers. Maybe instead of 3, have 1, and then maybe have the router before the text parsers, and then that way it can go into 3. So one text parser, 3 routers. So I think that could have saved some time. So again, and confirm like credentials before, like with the client. So as soon as you want to do any of these things, you want to get credentials for the client. That's something I had to learn. Lost time on the Discord thread with the bot. So that took some time because the bot wasn't confirmed up front. Get the API keys again for Gemini. You want the key for the RSS. The Discord has to be created, and then you want the client to kind of share. Whether you can create the Google Sheet, but you have to share with the client, or vice versa. In the Google Docs, you kind of want to know how the client wants it. You want all these keys right away. Test your AI inputs. They have to be tested numerous times with real examples to see how the bot responds. You want to do that fast. And most of the work, the initial scenario is done right away. But what really takes time that I learned is essentially just testing, making sure things work correctly. Making sure the Google Sheet data is filtered, no weak points, text operators, and the Google Sheet works well. And then the Google Docs also work well. Everything goes together. But again, it's testing back and forth. And yeah, so if you want to build something similar, the fastest path is, again, make.com scenario for the automation. For the backbone, it maintains everything, all 3 scenarios. The cheap way to do things is using Google Docs for Google Form. Google, a lot of these Google products, you can get them for free. Google Gemini, Cloud AI, or ChatGPT, they do the same things, but I would say Cloud or Gemini for content generation, having the discourse community or whether other community that you may have. And Google Sheets as the operational database, it keeps everything in one place. You have to structure the AI prompts very well and make sure to review things one after another. Use a router to pretty much share things between everything so we can. And then I built the JSON blueprint for all 3 scenarios in this build. So the link to import them will be in the description. It will be a school community, so if you want them, you can have them all. So yeah, just to be transparent, this took some time. This was one of my early scenarios. I think 2 days, like between figuring out how to put things together, where to put things. However, once you build these things once, you kind of understand, okay, like how to work them, put them together, how to work them, and then from there you can just add more into them. So whether you're a builder who's just starting out or a business, nonprofit, whether you looking to automate some menu task or top of the funnel task, again, I would love to come and help you and take a look, especially if you're getting phone calls, a number of phone calls, you need help there, or you need to follow up with clients again, or whether you're logging in data, struggling to keep up with your community engagement, happy to help there. So I offer a free 30-minute discovery call where I map out your automation task. You will be working directly with me. And yeah, so the link in this description to book a call. So if this video was helpful, yeah, please feel free to like, or if you have any questions, comment in the description. Again, I'm Gene, founder of FounderPad. See you in the next one.